From Potosí, we drive a little more than 200 kilometers to Uyuni. It's a really good and enjoyable road through the mountains. We visited Uyuni already in 2002 during our Camuca trip. Back then, our truck drove the famous Lagunas Route from San Pedro de Atacama in Chile to Uyuni, but Kirsten suffered from high altitude sickness and missed parts of the Altiplano. Hence, we're going back to Uyuni to do the Lagunas Route and the Salar de Uyuni again, and this time we're well adapted to the altitude.
So, we're approaching Uyuni. We can see the big Salar de Uyuni in the distance. It's very bright though. We are hoping to get on a tour. So there's Uyuni. It's gotten a lot bigger than we remember.
It's a tiny, dusty little town.
Yeah. We're approaching the Piaje of Uyuni. We should be okay with our piece of paper. Gracias. Okay, that was that. We're going straight. It's still as dusty as it used to be.
Founded in 1890 as a trading post, Uyuni lies at the edge of an extensive salt plain at an elevation of 3,700 metres above sea level. Today, the town has a population of around 30,000 and serves as a starting point for tours to the Uyuni Salt Flat and the Lagunas Route through the Altiplano. Each year, the city receives approximately 60,000 visitors from around the globe. We're lucky to get the only parking spot inside the Hotel Nido del Flamenco grounds. It's a really nice and popular place with rooms, clean bathrooms, good Wi-Fi and a big breakfast and lounge area. The owner, Anna, and her staff are super friendly and helpful with booking tours. They also allow us to plug in our extension cable into the house, and there is a water tap right next to the entrance. A perfect place to stay for only 50 Bolivianos, $7 a night, and also a very good place to store your vehicle during the 3-day Lagunas Route tour.
We're at Minuteman Pizza. It's run by an American called Chris, and I think she's his wife, Susie. They own the Hotel Tonito, and they're producing their own limonada. Very bitter, or?
It's not sweet.
Okay.
Kirsten has got her soup. Let's see, what's the verdict?
Tomato, spinach, basil, yummy. If that's the salsa also for the pizza, yummy.
Okay.
Give it a try.
My.
Helen's small salad just arrived. I don't know how we can finish the pizza, but it's giant. Here's my soup again, yum yum. And a homemade lemonade. How's the salad? Is the dressing already in there?
No.
There's the dressing.
I haven't put any on yet. The onions are sharp.
Okay. Be careful. So here's our spinach tomato gorgonzola pizza. This is the small one for two.
Das ist wirklich groß.
So let's see what the verdict on that one is. The salad was really nice, and the tomato soup was really nice too. Oh, when Helen says, oh, it's really good. Yummy, yummy.
And with the balsamico from underneath.
Oh, with the balsamico, yeah, I can see that. Yum.
Through Anna, we booked a 3-day tour to the Salar de Uyuni and along the Lagunas Route, which cost us $175 per person, and it included an upgrade for private ensuite rooms at the 2 accommodations rather than sharing a room with our other fellow travellers, which would have cost us $50 per person less. The price included all meals, all transport and the accommodation. Not included is the entrance fee to the national park. A very good deal in our opinion for a tour that is loaded with amazing sights and wildlife encounters. You can drive the Lagunas Route in your own vehicle. Even travellers in a 2-wheel drive motorhome or van made it, but this was certainly not an option for us. Vinny 2 has very low clearance and the nights in the Altiplano are freezing. Plus, the driving through the rugged terrain takes a lot of concentration, something that I didn't fancy at all.
I think
So we're leaving the campground for our 3-day trip. Okay. We're getting a taxi to the officina. So our main luggage goes on the top. We only need it at night. We all have a small backpack with snacks and cameras and all these things. I don't even know what time it is, but this is our car.
3 kilometres outside of Uyuni is the Cementerio de Trenes, or train cemetery. Here are the eerie remains of former train carriages, completely rusted out due to the area's salty winds. Many imported trains from Britain were then abandoned outside of Uyuni. Artists placed these metal sculptures on the car park at the train cemetery. They certainly were not here 21 years ago.
We have a train coming while we're at the train cemetery.
Since the end of the 19th century, Uyuni served as a distribution hub for trains carrying minerals on their way to the Pacific Ocean ports. Plans to expand and build an even bigger network of trains out of Uyuni were halted by the collapse of the mining industry in the 1940s.
Tren de carga.
¿Es de oro o de cobre o...?
Esto es de bórax.
Oh, de borax?
Un mineral también de las lagunas. Que
Sí.
Oro, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Es ese.
So we're at the entrance of the Salar de Uyuni, and there's stalls everywhere for tourism. We didn't have that 21 years ago. Helen is in the small salt museum.
After spending half an hour in Colchani, we take the road right onto the Salar de Uyuni. Our first stop is the Ojos del Salar. Here we are at the eyes of the salt flats. Eyes because, well, you can see it's bubbling. We're here too. And, well, they've got, it's not just thermal pools, it's lithium and potassium as well as the salt. Well, the salt is forming, but... Rivers of fresh and salt water flow beneath the Salar de Uyuni. This water, which passes beneath the crust of salt, carries with it the air that will find ways to escape. These eyes of the salt flat are the places where the air escapes, forming bubbles that rise to the surface. From 2009 to 2019, the world-famous Dakar Rally was held in South America, and Bolivia became the 28th country to host the Dakar from 2014 to 2019. One of the stages of the rally went straight through the Salar de Uyuni, and this monument was built in honour of all the participants. The Salar is also home to the world's first salt hotel. It was built from 1993 to 1995 out of salt blocks and soon became a popular tourist destination. It had 12 double rooms, a common bathroom and no shower. Its location in the centre of a desert produced sanitary problems as most waste had to be collected manually. Mismanagement caused serious environmental pollution and the hotel had to be dismantled in 2002. We managed to see it from the outside in 2002 during our Kamuka trip. Today you can find a few salt hotels on the edges of the Salar and this Commodore, our lunch spot for today.
This is the main lunch spot for everybody. It's lunchtime and this looks pretty good actually.
After lunch, we continue our smooth ride over the Salar de Uyuni.
Helen loves this. She doesn't have to drive.
Still smiling, you wait till the day after tomorrow. After a very cold night. Yeah. It's going to be cold tonight too.
It's a nice smooth ride here on the Salar.
Salar de Uyuni is one of South America's most phenomenal attractions. It lies at an elevation of 3,656 metres above sea level and is the world's largest salt desert. The vast expanse of white, glistening salt stretches across 10,582 kilometres of the Altiplano and can even be seen from space. Layers of salt are sandwiched between sedimentary deposits that reach a depth of 10 metres in the centre of the flat. In total, there's an estimated 10 billion tonnes of salt here. One of the highlights is the endless horizon that allows photographers to play with perspective and depth of field. The key to getting the best photos is to position your camera as low as possible and close to the object you use. This provides a perspective where the object is larger than the human subject, who would be further away. Saul, our experienced diver, certainly knows his business, and we have fun taking all the shots and videos. Jumping in high altitude isn't as easy as it looks. You think you jump higher than you actually do, and the ground comes a little too soon for Kirsten. Oops. In the heart of the Salar lies Isla Incahuasi. The name means House of the Inca in the native language of Quechua and highlights the importance of the island to the Incans. Years ago, before the invention of jeeps, local people would use Isla Incahuasi as a temporary refuge when crossing the salt flat. This hilly and rocky outcrop of land is the top of the remains of an ancient volcano, which was submerged when the area was part of a giant prehistoric lake, roughly 40,000 years ago. The coral composition around the island is a fascinating reminder that the flats used to be part of a gigantic lake. The island is covered with a native species of cactus. These giant cacti are hundreds of years old and grow at a rate of 1 centimetre per year. Most of them are more than 2 metres high, with some even reaching a whopping 10 metres. You can take a hike up to the top of Isla Incahuasi for a small fee, but we did this 21 years ago, and because Kirsten isn't allowed to fly the drone right next to or over the island, we venture out onto the salt flat a little bit to take a closer look at the interesting salt formations here.
Different types of salt structures here. So really different structures of salt here. Very thin, some of them. It looks like little diamonds. These are super thin layers of salt. It's really peaceful out here. Our shadow is faster than us.
It will get there first.
And we have these really interesting salt things.
Bubbles.
This looks like a snake.
From Isla Incahuasi, Saul heads south back to the edge of the Salar de Uyuni. The sun is getting lower and our car produces a long shadow on the salt. Just before sunset, we stop in the middle of nowhere. Saul has a little surprise waiting for us. Amazing how fast the temperatures drop once the sun is below the vast horizon.
Coffee, tea, hot water. So it's sunset wine, red wine.
Ne?
Es de Bolivia oder de Chile?
Boliviano.
Aha.
Ja, wahrscheinlich ja ähnlich, oder?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to a good trip. Cheers, cheers. Cheers. Vamos a probar.
Gracias, Saul. Muy bueno.
Okay.
A really good glass of wine during a wonderful sunset wraps our first day up in a super nice way. Thank you, Saul.
This is our room. We're actually in a salt place. It's not too bad. It's not too cold. We have our own ensuite. And it's supposed to have a hot shower, which we're going to try out. Helen just organized us some toilet paper. Perfecto. One is fine for a night. It's 6:30 in the morning. We had a good night. It was nice and warm. It was much warmer than in our motorhome. Sun's about to come up. We have breakfast in a minute. This was our accommodation for the night. Somewhere on the rim of the Salar de Uyuni, really nice.
On the second day of our tour, we gradually drive up higher into the vast altiplano of Bolivia. With many highlights lying ahead of us, we're all in good spirits and looking forward to what this day has to offer. It's the salt marks on...
Alan is on the famous train line to Chile. Uyuni to Chile. There you go. We're all taking photos. Priscilla from Brazil, Jacek from the US, Juliet from Hamburg, Simon from Switzerland, and us.
The first part of the route is on a highway for lots of mining trucks and super dusty. We don't know how Saul can drive at 80 kilometres an hour without really seeing anything. We're all holding our breath and hope there is no head-on collision with one of the many fast-driving trucks. Scary.
We're flying blind here.
It's going to be a new way though.
This is the main highway for the trucks, the mining trucks.
The Uyuni volcano is 5,865 metres high and the only active volcano in Bolivia. The western rim of the summit crater is formed by a compound of lava domes, the youngest of which features a vigorous fumarole that is visible from afar.
These are these really rare plants.
These large green mounds are made up of a colony of plants in the carrot family. The Yareta only grows between 3,200 and 4,500 metres in elevation. These plants are extremely slow growers. Experts estimate that individual colonies expand at the rate of roughly 1.5 centimetres each year. Some of the largest colonies are estimated at over 3,000 years old, making them some of the oldest living organisms on the planet. Apart from the volcano views, the Mirador also has a lot of interesting rock formations. The only disadvantage of going on an organised tour is that there are always other groups at the same location. Saul is trying his best to be either ahead or behind the groups, so we get to see the sights with the minimum amount of people around. The terrain and scenery are constantly changing, so we don't get tired looking out of the car windows. It feels a bit like we're on Mars. One of the main highlights of the Lagunas route are, of course, the lagunas, small salt lakes that are coloured in different ways depending on the minerals that are in the lakes. Our first laguna already has it all. Mirror reflection and volcanoes in the background, plus we're getting a really close look at the James flamingos here.
What are these other ones? They are ibises?
No. Those aren't ibises, they look more like just ducks.
I'm going to take a video of them too.
James flamingos, also known as puna flamingos, is a species of flamingo that lives at high altitudes in the Andean plateaus of Peru, Chile, Bolivia and northwest Argentina. It's named after Harry Barclay James, a British naturalist who studied the bird. James's flamingo is closely related to the Andean flamingo, and the flamingos live in colonies. Its plumage is very pale pink, with bright carmine streaks around the neck and on the back. James flamingos have a very long neck made up of 19 vertebrae, allowing for a large range of movement and rotation of the head. They're also distinctive for their long, thin legs. The knee is not externally visible. It's located at the top of the leg. The joint at the middle of the leg, which may be mistaken for the knee joint, is actually the ankle joint.
Flamingo pink. Es un otro color. Color natural.
Oh, there's one flying.
Did you get that?
Yeah, it's in the video. I saw it on the video.
Not far from the Laguna Cañapa is the Laguna Hedionda, our lunch spot for today. Here we get an even closer look at the flamingos. The Laguna has a high saline content of 66 to 80% and an average depth of just under 1 foot, and the name fittingly means stinking lake in Spanish, after the unappealing smell caused by its high sulfur content.
Oh, there's one flying.
The flamingo feeds on diatoms and other microscopic algae. To feed, the flamingo's long legs allow them to walk into the water and swoop their necks down into an S shape to allow the beak to enter the water. Only lowering the distal end of the bill into the water allows the nostrils to remain above water. The water, filled with small organisms, floods the bill and the filtration process begins.
Yeah. So now I have a bit of an American twang, Canadian twang.
Chorizo. Caliente? Helen is happy with her lunch. Today we have chicken legs and sausages and vegetables and potatoes and fried bananas.
After lunch, we continue on our route south to the next laguna. Laguna Honda, whose name means deep lake, is actually only 10 centimetres deep and one of the most beautiful lagunas here.
Now that must be the coca leaves.
Yeah. He ate too much.
After the beautiful lagunas, the driving on the dirt roads of the Altiplano gets a lot rougher. Now we're happy that we did not attempt it with Vinny too. We would never have made it. It's not easy, even in a four-wheel drive Jeep.
I'm on that side. Jeez, please.
There are only a few buildings in the Bolivian Altiplano. Some of them are military outposts, but this one is something different.
Up on the fence.
It's a hotel. Hotel de Desierto.
Yeah, that's it.
From time to time, Saul stops the car so we can stretch our legs for a few moments and take some shots of the beautiful surroundings.
There's a little chinchilla. Is that nice? Hmm? Did you enjoy that? Here are our boys up on the hill playing chinchilla. You've got really nice ears though. Huh? And really long whiskers.
At the Eduardo Avaroa Andean Fauna National Reserve entrance are some crazy rock formations that come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. The standout among these different volcanic rock figures is the Árbol de Piedra, meaning stone tree, a natural monument of Bolivia. It's 5 meters tall and was formed by wind erosion over millions of years. It's cold and windy here, and although we saw the Árbol de Piedra 21 years ago, we can't remember the rest of the area.
Push! Push! Not working. Hamburger rocks. We're at the Laguna Colorada, and to get through you need to register and pay. So we're at the national park and we have to register. It costs 150 bolivianos per person. And then we're into the national park. So here's Helen with our precious tickets. Yeah. This is us. Jacek is taking the wheel.
That's right, Mr. Coca Driver.
Mr. Coca Driver is taking it.
National Park today. We're gonna swim in the Red Lagoon. We're
Okay.
gonna fly her drone right over the flamingos like she did at the last park.
Okay.
And we're gonna go all swimming in the hot tub.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Let's go.
Laguna Colorada, the Red Lagoon, is seen alongside the Salar de Uyuni salt flats as Bolivia's most incredible natural wonder. The water of the lake is only 1 metre deep and magnificently shifts between deep blue and dark red. Despite folklore suggesting that the water is the blood of gods, the bloody red colour is in fact caused by red sediments and algae in the water. Dotted across the lagoon are white borax islands, whose colour contrasts with that of the water. One of Laguna Colorada's biggest attractions is spotting the flocks of flamingos that settle here. 3 of the world's 6 species of flamingo are found here because of the abundance of plankton in the lake. The largest population of the incredibly rare James flamingo can be found here. Amazingly, the James flamingo was even thought to be extinct until a small population was rediscovered in 1956. Although they're plentiful here, they remain a continually threatened species and are still classified as endangered. Our last stop for the day is Sol de Mañana, a geothermal area that extends over 10 square kilometres and is at an altitude of 4,850 metres. It's lined with geysers, bubbling mud pots and the distinct smell of sulphur. Stinks. The hot steam emitted by the geysers can reach heights of up to 15 metres. Most tours take a look at the geysers at sunrise rather than after sunset, so we have the place to ourselves. We're actually grateful to see them now rather than early tomorrow morning. None of us want to get up at 4 a.m. in the icy cold dark to get here in time with hundreds of others.
I think it stinks like hell. Now we're getting into sunset. That is 4,800 meters, producing energy.
It's getting late, and Saul has to drive the last kilometres in the dark to our accommodation at the Polka's Hot Springs.
This is our private double room. We actually have 3 beds.
We have a toilet as well. But it costs $50 extra.
We just got comfy in the other room when we were told to swap rooms. Now we've got the deluxe room here with a single bed, and we actually have another bathroom, but this time we actually have a shower. I just tried it out. It has warm water, but I think it's thermal water from the springs.
Lasered, you're being lasered.
The second card represents the nature of influences or obstacles that lie just ahead. So
Just
this card crosses the question.
Our group is a really nice mix of people, and we enjoy time together before dinner by playing a game of cards.
The magician.
Tonight we have vegetable soup again, and it's super yummy.
And we did her card reading.
And what is she going to quit her job or not?
What is this?
Soya bolognese. Soya bolognese. We got the spaghetti bolognese. Boys are happy too. So here we are.
Kirsten in a woolly hat.
Yeah, because it might be getting cold. We're at 4,100 meter, second night. We have our matrimonial, which is really nice and cozy. We got the hot water bottles filled again. It was a really good day, don't you think?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
And I'm tired now.
Lots of things to see.
Yeah,
Loved the geysers.
yeah. That was
They
really
were
spooky. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound
Although it was dark.
The sound
The
was
sun
superb.
was
Yeah.
sun was setting by the time we got
Yeah.
down.
I didn't mind that. We were on our own there.
But it was. We went up to 4,850.
Yeah.
That was at the geysers.
Yeah, that was the highest point.
Yeah. Before that, we had Laguna Colorado, which is really red from all the algae. That was up at around 4,400, but it was
Bitterly cold. Yeah.
Oh, that was so cold.
Yeah.
And then Simon took so long to come back because we have to wait. He was sitting in the back today, so we have to wait for him
We were
to
frozen.
get in so that we can get in because the seats fold down. So, yeah, and
But we have a really nice group, and Saul is a really good driver. It was deep sand today. It was slip sliding.
well,
Don't you-
yeah. Sometimes he goes off, and
Yeah.
and sometimes I don't understand why he goes on a real go slow.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
why?
It was kind of funny. He was slowing down. Maybe he didn't want us to be with too many people there.
No, because
Yeah.
we were in the dark at the geysers
Yeah.
in the end. So I don't know.
It wasn't in the dark.
Well, it was sun
Yeah.
was setting.
Yeah,
So.
it was good. At least we don't have to get up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning to see them at 5.
Yeah.
We skipped the thermal pools tonight because it's just too cold.
Oh, it's just,
We didn't even go for
Oh.
our shower here because it wasn't hot water.
yeah.
And I think it's thermal as well.
Mm,
Dinner was...
awful. The soup
The
was great.
soup is always great. The wine is really nice. We got a bottle of wine with dinner.
Yeah,
That's-
you guys were drinking all that wine. You had 2 bottles of wine.
I only had half a glass, but
Mm.
I think we had... The table
Anyway,
had about 3 bottles.
We could smell it was spaghetti bolognese from.
Yeah, you
a
said
long-
that
long
straight
time.
away.
Yeah, I said straight away. That smells like spaghetti bolognese. But
Yeah.
the only problem was, as soon as we got it, I put some in my mouth and oh my god!
Yeah, it smelled funny, and it
It
was
smelled funny, tasted really odd.
yeah, and it was a funny meat,
And I was thinking,
and the
I'm-
cheese was very salty.
and I just thought it.
pasta was
straight in
actually
my mouth,
nice.
and I thought I'm going to be sick.
And the other table
Oh.
had French fries and chicken legs,
Yeah,
really yummy, and
they
rice.
paid extra. See,
Yeah. So the food is always different from group to group.
well, normally we have the same because we've been having the same. I
No.
don't know.
Last night we were only our own group, so we don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, we're enjoying the trip. It's worth the money. It's great to come back after 21 years. And actually today, the whole day, we've seen things that we haven't seen before. I think we think so.
Yeah.
The Piedra, the Arbol de Piedra, we have it differently in our memories. So maybe it's not the same, or it's a different one. Well, that's the same.
Don't know. Yeah,
I'm tired.
it was there was too many of them, too many rock formations. I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
I
whole-
don't remember that either. And I
So-
don't remember it being so big. We have to
No.
check that.
Mm.
I'm blinding us here.
Mm.
So that's okay. So we have one more day tomorrow until 6 o'clock in the evening.
It's a full day.
Yeah. We're going to see some more stuff. We're going to the Piedras de Dali. So that I expect them to be really colorful or funny in shape. I don't remember them from 21 years ago either. We go to the Laguna Verde again, which we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's not so windy. So that's it for tonight. We're tired.
Mm-hmm.
Night, night. Sleep well in our new Bettgestell,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got the nice warm tootsies already. Oh.
Oh.
That's a cool thing, isn't it?
Now
You
we've got
can't
20,
blind-
20 minutes of rainbow. Put it
Ooh, the ghost. Ooh. Wasn't it under the chin where you look like a ghost? No, you can just see the wrinkles. That's no good. Okay, that's good.
The Parker's hot springs were formed as a result of volcanic activity from the nearby Parker's volcano. They have a high content of minerals, which is said to relieve the symptoms of arthritis and rheumatism. The water temperatures hover at a comfortable 29 degrees Celsius. Ambient temperatures are often as low as -5 or -10 degrees Celsius, which makes changing into your swimwear a major challenge.
The sun has just come up. These are the hot pools that we didn't go into last night, but obviously people are still enjoying it this morning. Cool, and the birds are sitting in the steam to warm up. There they are.
Our first stop this morning is the Desierto Salvador Dali, also known as Dali Valley, a desert at an average altitude of 4,750 metres above sea level. It is situated in an extremely barren valley and stands out for its unique landscape in which many isolated rock formations created by wind erosion alternate along the arid and desolate plain, giving the landscape a unique character that closely resembled the realistic paintings by Salvador Dali. Again, we have incredible blue skies, and the vibrant colours of our surroundings are truly impressive. Today, we're heading to the border with Chile, because Juliet and Simon are leaving this tour to get another van to San Pedro de Atacama, instead of driving all the way back to Uyuni, a really good choice for backpackers.
Laguna Verde, but the colour is gone, apparently because we have no wind, and the copper and something else can't mix.
At the border with Chile are the famous Laguna Verde and its adjacent twin Laguna Blanca. Both are found at the bottom of the Licancabur volcano at an elevation of 4,310 metres above sea level and are divided by a narrow causeway. The name Laguna Verde translates to green lake, after the emerald colour of the water. Mineral suspensions of arsenic, magnesium, carbonate and calcium go into the water from its subsoil to give the lake its wonderful and unique colour. The colour of the lake varies from turquoise to dark emerald green, depending on the extent to which the sediments at the bottom of the lake are affected by the wind. Unlike Laguna Colorada, you will not find flamingos here because the lake is filled with poisonous arsenic. The iconic peak of the inactive Licancabur volcano has a height of 5,916 metres, and the upper reaches of Licancabur have been used for NASA experiments to prepare for future missions to Mars. Scientists believe that the thin atmosphere, high ultraviolet radiation and varied temperature here are similar to Mars 3.5 billion years ago, before the planet became incapable of holding life.
Saul has to put some more gasoline into our tank. And it's siphoning down into the tank. Oh, that's a messy job.
He's trying to get it to
push down.
Well, actually, they don't have funnels, do they?
No. Do we have to push on the way home? Through the middle of the lagunas.
Summer camp, we had this activity where you would go on these little toys, these floaty toys that they attach to jet skis. And it was so fun. They would pull you. And every time
Yeah, we're going through the water.
Let's go. Every time the jet skis would come, all the kids would be so excited. They would jump in the water, swim towards the jet skis. I was the one kid swimming excited for the smell of gasoline. It smells so good.
Wow.
Alan saved the pancakes from this morning.
Pancake? Sharing last pancake?
All right, I'll take it.
Here, wait, you can take the bag if you want.
Okay.
Enjoy. So we're saying goodbye to Juliet and Simon. They are leaving us here. They go to San Pedro de Atacama, and this is the border, I think. We don't remember this border from 21 years ago. They must have moved it. It's not where we remember it. So now we're at the Chilean-Bolivian border. And this is where Juliet and Simon are going to change vehicles to get to San Pedro. We're leaving now on this van. And we're going back to Uyuni.
For some reason we stop again at the Palkas hot springs, and although it's a lot warmer now than last night or early this morning, we don't have the time to jump into the thermal pools right now. With less people here, they really look inviting. The way back to Uyuni's mostly just driving. Saul is racing as fast as he can to do the remaining 300 plus kilometres. Good job that Juliet and Simon left the tour already, because we don't get to see much along the way anymore, apart from a few vicuñas, llamas and a lot of dust. The only interesting sightseeing stop after leaving the border is the Valle de Rocas, which is lined with unusual rock formations formed as a result of volcanic activity and wind erosion. These rocks are said to resemble various animals. It's been declared a natural monument. After the past 2 days full of highlights, we're tired today, and although this is a really fantastic spot, we can't really take it in anymore. But it's been a really great tour, and we thoroughly enjoyed the company of our fellow travellers.
Kirsten's got herself into a hole.
Late in the afternoon, we stop at San Cristobal de Lipes to take a look at the historical church, one of the oldest in the Bolivian Altiplano. We actually saw it during our Camuca trip, but as we found out later, in a different spot. 19 years ago, the entire town was moved a few kilometres from its original place to this new location to allow for large-scale exploitation of the San Cristobal silver mine. The church was moved stone by stone with the support of experts. It was originally built by the Jesuits in the 17th century.
After a whole week at Nido de Flamenco in Uyuni, we're trying to start the motor. Last night it was so cold that we had 0 degrees inside this morning. Started after a week, so it's not too bad. Yeah, you good?
In our next video, we take the brand new road from Uyuni to Tupiza and then drive further south back to Argentina, where we once again stop in Humahuaca and Purmamarca before taking the super narrow Ruta 9 to Salta.